said that girls with dreams become women with vision.
So I want all the girls watching here and now to know that a new day is on the horizon.
I am the hope and the dream of the slave.
The world of work has been designed by men. And now I think women have a great opportunity to change it.
God, use me. Use me, use this life. I don't know what the future holds for me, but I know that there is a vision for my life that is greater than my imagination can hold. Use me, use me. What would you have me to do?
I think it is right that socially I am afforded the same respect as men.
Many people wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model size. When you see me walking, it ought to make you proud. I say it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, the curl of my lips. I'm a woman. Phenomenal woman.
The moment you can figure out what it is you're supposed to be doing, the sooner you are able to get about the business of doing that.
When I look down at this golden statue, may it remind me and every little child that no matter where you're from, your dreams are valid.
Up from a past rooted in pain, I rise.
I went on the courts with just a ball and a racket and a hope, and that's all I had. And it's inspiring for all you guys out there that want to do something and want to be the best that you can be and want to do the best that you can do. You just never give up, because you never know what can happen. You never know who you can inspire.
When that new day finally dawns, it will be because of a lot of magnificent women, many of whom are right here in this room tonight, and some pretty phenomenal men fighting hard to make sure that they become the leaders who take us to the time when nobody ever has to say, "Me too," again.
Our diversities of faiths and colors and creeds, that is not a threat to who we are. It makes us who we are.
May we empower each other to carry out such vision, because it isn't enough to simply talk about equality. One must believe in it, and it isn't enough to simply believe in it. One must work at it. Let us work at it together, starting now.
live. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 14th Annual International Women's Day event, a virtual event this year hosted by the Federation of Portuguese Canadian Business and Professionals. I'm Matthew Correia, television host and special projects manager for the FPCBP, and it is a great pleasure to have you joining us from the safety and comfort of your homes for this event. Tonight, we recognize the achievements of Luso-Canadian women in the economic sector, academic, political, and sociocultural fabric of our society. Joining us on this webinar are mothers, wives, grand and great-grandmothers, daughters, sisters, godmothers, aunts, cousins, and friends. Each and every one of you are leaders in your own right, whether it's in business, family, or community. For decades, women have struggled with many challenges, but have also overcome so much greatness in their careers, societal norms, equity, family life, and beyond. The theme for this year's International Women's Day is Choose to Challenge. A challenged world is an alert world, and from challenge comes change. Each and every one of us, regardless of gender, race, or creed, plays a role in raising awareness against bias, taking action into our own hands for equality, and ultimately celebrating women's achievements, not only on this day, but every day. 2020 certainly has been a challenging year for women, physically, emotionally, financially, etc. I think we're all tired of hearing so much negativity surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic. So I want to share with you some examples of women around the world who have achieved success in 2020, leading their careers and countries to new heights. Cristina Ferreira, a leading entrepreneur in Portugal, who became the first female director of a Portuguese television network, TVI, and who is earning more of a salary than her male counterpart. Kamala Harris, who made history as the first woman and woman of color vice president of the United States of America, and who during her campaign debate made famous the words, "Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking." Jacinda Ardern, the world's youngest female head of government, who was reelected in a historic majority win last year and who was praised for her empathy and success in eradicating the coronavirus in New Zealand during the first and second waves. Closer to home, Chrystia Freeland, Canada's Deputy Prime Minister, who became the first woman to serve as Federal Finance Minister in Canada and the second woman to serve in that job in any G7 country. Meghan Markle, who in the midst of a global crisis broke free from the job most little girls dream of becoming, a fairy tale princess, as she made the ultimate decision to be relieved of her royal duties in order to stay true to her family, her career, charity work, and most importantly, herself. On a more tragic note, I recognize two young girls whose departures from this world last year taught us all such an important life lessons. Breonna Taylor, a 26-year-old African-American shooting victim whose unjust death sparked an international movement with Black Lives Matter, and Sara Carreira, a singer and model from a recognized musical family in Portugal who was launching her own fashion line when she sadly passed away in a car accident at just 21 years old. As I sit here today with this honor of emceeing this FPCBP event, I recognize my privilege, not only as a white male, but as the son of Portuguese immigrant parents in Canada, being raised predominantly by my mother, grandmothers, and godmothers. My mom's upstairs. Hi, Mom. Who I recognize for their sacrifices, courage, worth ethic, love, and strength. If I could just do a quarter of the things a woman can, I would be a much better man. I want to end my introduction with a quote by the legendary Portuguese fadista Amália Rodrigues, who said, "Cantarei até que a voz me doa," which translates to, "I will sing until my voice hurts." So tonight, I empower all of you ladies to do the same. Raise your voices, never stop believing, and like Beyonce says, run the world, girls. Happy International Women's Day. I'd like to pass the microphone on to our president. He is the 26th president of the Federation of Portuguese Canadian Business and Professionals and the 6th female president. Please welcome Eduarda Souza Lau.
Thank you so much, Matthew. That was a wonderful introduction and a wonderful introduction for all the women globally on this International Women's Day. And you know you're part of our group. So thank you. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Federation of Portuguese Canadian Business and Professionals 14th Annual International Women's Day. On behalf of the Federation, we thank all of you for celebrating with us on this virtual party. Before I begin the acknowledgements, I wish to begin by expressing our gratitude to all of the essential workers and unsung heroes for their tireless efforts during this pandemic. We thank our members, the media, and our corporate sponsors, IC Savings, Cardinal Funeral Homes, Carpenters and Allied Workers Local 27, Ferma Food Products, LiUNA Ontario Provincial District Council, LiUNA Local 183, MDC Media Group, Pearson Convention Center, and Scotiabank. The Federation has entered into its 40th year, started by 10 founders and nurtured by past presidents and their boards of directors. As we celebrate International Women's Day, I need to take the time to acknowledge the women at the helm of this organization, starting with the very first founder, Laura Bolger. As Matthew said before, I'm the 26th president and the 6th female president of the Federation. Having the wherewithal, the courage, and the perseverance to always move forward despite all odds, I am humbly grateful for the former Federation women presidents that paved the way. The first female president, Nelly Pedro, from 1990, and we thank these presidents as well. Second president, Deputy Mayor Ana Bailão. We have Madalena or Lena Barreto, who is actually the founder of the Federation's annual International Women's Day Luncheon. So this is our 14th. So Lena, if you're listening, we're continuing what you started. We have Cristina Martins, and we have Michelle George, all former past presidents that were female and doing a wonderful job. For tonight's virtual soiree, there are many sponsors to thank, which I'll have some of my colleagues do in a moment. However, I wish to personally thank our guest speaker, Patricia Ribeiro Wolfson, music performers Pedro Sarado and Rino, and the creator of Charcut Prato, Liana Moreira, and Liliana Vieira of Tap Air Portugal. Above all, the celebration of today's 14th Annual Women's Day went from an idea to action. And through their unwavering commitment and dedication, I am grateful and thankful for the events committee, Matthew Correa, eZone Networks, and the first and newly created Federation Eats Delivery Driver Service. And I thank you all. Before I pass this over to my colleagues, I wish to share that women work so hard to achieve, and they need to be proud of themselves. To our grandmothers, mothers, sisters, and girlfriends, believe in yourself, believe in your voice, be the voice and not an echo, and become the change makers. Choose to challenge, and collectively we can strive to create an inclusive world. Gratefulness and my stand up and cheer motto goes to the co-chairs of this Women's Day event, Melissa DeSimas and Dr. Sarah Vieira and their team, all rock stars. Enjoy the rest of the evening, everyone. Melissa and Dr. Sarah, I pass it over to you now.
Thank you very much, Eduarda. Good evening, everybody. To begin, we want to thank every attendee for your unwavering support and participation at our event. Your support is very, very well received. Because of COVID, we are meeting in this way, and it's a positive experience. Although we cannot meet in person, we are meeting in this virtual world. Melissa?
Annually on March the 8th, International Women's Day is celebrated around the world. This day celebrates the social, economic, cultural, and political achievement of women. This year's theme is Women in Leadership, Achieving an Equal Future in a COVID-19 World. All the ladies here tonight are examples of just that, leaders, with some even starting their businesses during the pandemic. As Michelle Obama says, there is no limit to what we as women can accomplish.
We want to thank our International Women's Day Committee for helping us organize and with all of the components of this event. Eduarda, Lisu Zalal, thank you so much. Eddie Suleiman and Ana Maria Faria, your help does not go unnoticed and is much appreciated. Matthew, you're a rock star. Thank you so much for everything you've done. And also Paulo Rocha for helping us deliver some of the wonderful boxes yesterday. We'd also like to extend a greeting to a member of Provincial Parliament, Rudy Cuzeto, who's here with us tonight. Thank you. To our corporate sponsors mentioned by our President Eduarda, and tonight's event sponsors for our International Women's Day event are MDC Media Group, Paulo Rocha of EZO Networks, Alves Meats, Calvin's Bakery, Eddie Suleiman Events, Stephanie Castaneda of Goddess Rose Designs, Judy Ribeiro Breverson of Boku de Beads, Patricia Bors of Colora Bar and Grill, and TAP Portugal, represented by Lillian Steves Vieira. Our sincerest appreciation and many, many thank you.
We also want to thank our special guests for accepting our invitation, keynote speaker Patricia Ribeiro Wolfson, Liana Moreira of Charcutes Pratu, and the very talented Reno and Peter Sahadu. Finally, we are excited to announce that we have reached our goal and we are received over $1,000 for female Luso-Canadian students who will be awarded in 2022. So congratulations, everyone, and thank you for contributing to this fund. And let's get the evening started. Back to Matthew.
Congratulations. Thank you. I hope you're all clapping at home. Thank you, ladies. Wonderful, wonderful introductions. So what would a Portuguese event be like without Portuguese food? And we this year decided to do a little something different since we can't meet and have a restaurant food. But Liana Moreira from Charcutes Pratu prepared these wonderful, wonderful charcuterie boxes that most of you are enjoying in your homes this evening. If you haven't already eaten them, I was so tempted last night to just dig right in, but we have to wait for right now. And I'd like to bring Liana Moreira on. She's an entrepreneur who, like Melissa said, opened up her business during the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. And so the Federation is proud to support local businesses and also female entrepreneurs. So Liana, welcome.
Hello, everybody. So I'm Liana Moreira, and I'm the owner of Charcutes Pratu. And I hope you guys are enjoying your boxes. Like what Matthew said, hopefully you guys didn't dig into it yesterday as soon as you received them. So hopefully you enjoy them now. So I'm not going to be too long, but I'm just going to take you back to some of my earliest memories of my grandparents in the kitchen. Growing up alongside my grandparents' catering business many moons ago, I was able to truly appreciate the Portuguese way of doing things. Seeing them smoke their presunto or make their homemade chouriço or morcella, and just being able to gather every Sunday for lunchtime with my family. Food is a staple in our family, like I'm sure it is in everybody else's. It's what brings people together. And unfortunately, COVID came and forced us to spend a lot of time in our own homes and restricted us from doing what we do best, eating and gathering and just having those conversations and those laughters and sometimes arguments. And it didn't stop us from meeting every week, every Sunday for dinner or for lunch. So food is what brought my family together, and I'm sure it's what brings everybody else too. Now, Charcutes Pratu comes back from the days of my youth. So with my saudade, my fridge became full of fresh meats and cold cuts, cheese and fruits, and just overall a need to experiment with all of that, because what else was there to do during COVID other than eating and washing dishes all the time? Now, I wanted to bring my creativity to my kitchen front while still maintaining my Portuguese roots, but in a Canadian setting. And with the growing popularity of these grazing boxes, I fell in love with fruit carving and just pairing them with different meats and cheeses and different types of vinhos together, and just adding my touch to them and making them cute, hence the name Charcute Prato. So it brings the aesthetic and the taste of charcuterie arrangements, and it comes from my home to your table in hopes that you guys get the same outcome and the same family and friends together while enjoying your meal. So thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm so happy it was a Portuguese one, and especially a Women's Day one, and I'm truly honored. So I hope you guys all enjoy that. Thank you.
All right, so I'm enjoying mine and I'm going to put it down so I can continue the show. Thank you so much, Leanna. And if you haven't already followed Leanna on social media, you may do so at charcute.prato on Instagram and Facebook. Also, follow the Federation, FPCBP, on all social media platforms. Like us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, where a copy of this webinar will be available so you can rewatch it as well. Before we introduce our guest speaker, I would like to have you all stand up, get up, dance, move around, because if you're like me, you've been sitting for so long. It's almost over a year that we've been sitting down at our desks and in our homes. And so we're going to introduce some music to get us up and going. And the performer we have of this evening is Peter Cerrado. He has a unique voice that is drenched in a sweet, raspy tone, from a subtle whisper to a scream. Peter's expression is powerful yet intimate, wise yet playful, and evokes the scopes of artists such as Bob Dylan, Tom Petty, or Jeff Buckley. He is a singer-songwriter who was born in Toronto and began performing in musical festivals in the Portuguese-Canadian community. He is passionate about his roots, and in 2018, he represented Portugal in the Eurovision contest, ranking him in the 11th place in the finals for his original song, Sunset. He is represented and accompanied on the strings by his manager, the talented Rino Silva of MDC Music and Media Group. Please welcome Peter Cerrado and Rino.
Hey guys, I'm Peter Cerrado, and this is Rino Silva. We'd like to thank FPCBP for having us on their International Women's Day event. Happy International Women's Day, and we're going to start this off with a song from my up-and-coming release called Lisbon.
It was Monday, I was waiting for the door, but you're never home, and I waited far too long. Her mother tells me she's gone for the summer, somewhere on her own, looking for someone to prove. You kept your hands in your pocket, now go along, find something to do. Oh, it was there, but now she's gone. Now her heart is full, but one day at a time, she was gone. Just like that, we were in Lisbon for those 2 nights, kissing through the streets, trying to beat the headlights, dancing the square, making a scene. Perfect start to what it could be. Now you're on your everyday life, caught up in the noise of the city life. Days go by, not a word, not a sign. You're gone, just like that. Oh, I played and it all lined up in my head. Saw you running now, we could be wild and free again. Oh, we were crazy for each other, no hurry to go home, just you and I all alone. 4,000 miles from each other, but why does love mean you? Oh, it was there, but now it's gone. time she was gone. Just like that, we were in Lisbon for those 2 nights, kissing through the streets, trying to beat the headlights, dancing the square, making a scene, perfect sound to what it could be. Now you're on your everyday life, caught up in the noise of the city life. Days go by, not a word, not a sign. You're gone, just like that. Just like that, we were in Lisbon for those 2 nights, kissing through the streets, trying to beat the headlights, dancing the square, making a scene, perfect stop to what it could be. Now you're on your everyday life, caught up in the noise of the city life. Days go by, not a word, not a sign. Just like that, when we were in Lisbon on those 2 nights, kissing through the streets, trying to beat the headlights, dancing the square, making a scene, but it's out what it could be. Now you're on your everyday life, caught up in the noise of the city life. Days go by, not a word, not a sign. You're gone, just like that. Here we go on the road, chasing stars, watching sunsets down Highway 1. Hold my hand, waving high, no regrets. You and I were on the run. Close your eyes, smell the air. What's broke is repaired. We can laugh all we want now. Leave it all slate clean, keep our memories clear to remind me of how I can't go back there again to the place where we began. 'Cause in a small town there was nothing to give. Look at the sunset in the city like this. Close my eyes, wake up to see how you in my arms on the road, trusting love. Close my eyes, wake up to see it's your heart and mine going somewhere we belong. Oh, I know that you're scared and it's always so strange knowing we got it all. Won't sell out to no one, we'll color the roads. We can do this highway. Show me that smile, we'll go on with style. Out there, there's something worth waiting for. We'll ride our lines, slow down the time. This is what we asked for. I can't go back there again to the place where we began. 'Cause in the small town there was nothing to give. Look at the sunset in the city like this. Close my eyes, wake up to see how you in my arms on the road, trusting love. Close my eyes, wake up to see it's your heart and mine going somewhere we belong. Not going back, not going back, not going back, no. Not going back, not going back, not going back, no. Look at the sunset in the city like this. Close my eyes, wake up to see. Are you in my arms on the road, trusting love? Close my eyes, wake up to see. And it's your heart and mine going somewhere we belong. Sunset in the city lights.
All right. Woohoo. Thank you so much, Peter Serrado and Reno. Peter will be back with another song towards the second half of our program. We'd also like to shout out everyone at Camões Radio and Camões TV and NBC Media Group who are watching. They just sent me a message and they're watching as well. So thank you so much. So I'd like to introduce our guest speaker. Patricia Ribeiro Wolfson was born in Lisbon and raised by her parents, Maria and Jorge Ribeiro, in the Toronto Portuguese community. As a young girl, she was passionate about broadcasting and was never shy of the camera. After starting out at Shein Radio, she landed a TV role as host and sports news anchor on various Portuguese programs on CFMT, now Omni Television, and eventually transitioning to international screens. For 90s kids like me, you'll recognize her as the quiz master from YTV's game show, Uh-Oh. After marrying an American pediatrician, she relocated to Long Island, New York, where she raises her 3 boys and started a new venture as an entrepreneur, talk show host, energy healer, and intuitive coach, and is this year's FPCBP International Women's Day guest speaker. Please welcome Patricia Ribeiro Wolfson.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was a really nice introduction, Matthew. Thank you. And this has been such a wonderful celebration. I just want to take a moment and honor that this has been so beautiful, including, you know, the video that we started with. I was so proud to see everyone represented, all the different beautiful women of different ages, different colors. It's really something that is part of my mission, is to make all women and all people who identify as women feel connected to who they are and feel the power of the divine feminine. So I want to just say thank you to the Federation of Portuguese Canadian Business and Professionals for organizing this evening to celebrate this amazing day, especially Dona Eduarda, the distinguished president of the organization, Melissa, Sarah, and Matthew for inviting me to be a part of honoring women tonight. And I really hope that this talk will be a catalyst to all of you who have not yet tapped into the incredible power of feminine leadership. Feminine leadership. I love how that sounds. And you know, for a long time, that's been kind of a foreign concept. You know, women leading? No, women are not leaders. Women are supporters. They have been an incredible support system to great leaders and nurtured some of the greatest minds in history, but they are not the great minds. Or are they? I think Choose to Challenge is a good title for, you know, what we're doing today, which is we are going to choose to challenge our roles in society. We're going to choose to challenge how we live our lives and how feminine leadership presents itself and how we walk in leadership, whether or not we are leaders of organizations or leaders in our home. So we all know that women have been held back and taught to keep themselves small, and for hundreds of years been relegated to the back of the room to be silent and look pretty. But you know, we stood by and watched as the system created by the men in power make decisions about our bodies, about our place in the workforce, and our personal sovereignty. And for generations, they attempted to control our feelings of purpose and self-worth, and still do. Hello, diet industry. And they've done a really amazing job at having us question our purpose and self-worth, because even women fight each other about whether or not they have the right to do or be something different than what we've been taught by our ancestors. Even in our rich Portuguese culture, it is still very much present. The idea that women can't handle big responsibilities, or that we're too emotional or irrational, especially during that time of the month, like it's a big secret, like you're all not here because of it. And this is a stigma that somehow even in 2021 still exists and has held us back from stepping into more positions of power and leadership. And when you think about it, it's really fascinating that this perspective remains when you consider that raising a family is not only one of the most significant responsibilities that we hold as a society. I mean, we're literally raising members of the society, but also that the day-to-day management of a household shows incredible skills that would be an asset to any organization. Maintaining the emotional well-being of everyone in the home, while also keeping track of everyone's schedules, cleaning and organizing, food, homework, extracurricular activities, well, whenever we're able to get back to those, and social interactions. You know, all of this is not unlike running a business or even running a country. And women today are doing all of that and more. Now, I want to be very clear. This is not about bashing men, because they've suffered in this system too. Matthew, we love you, and all other men who are watching that I can't see, which I'm sure include my father, love you, and I think my brother too. You know, men have not been allowed to be sensitive or cooperative or understanding or soft in any ways, as it's been considered synonymous with weakness. But this hasn't served humanity either. And as a loving wife to an incredibly supportive husband, and as a mother of 3 young boys, my goal is to uplift both women and men to become the very best version of themselves. And I will say that as a confident, intelligent, gentle man is a much better leader than one who makes decisions to show his strength and ruthlessness. Although personal power may benefit from that type of approach, compassion and love will always inspire others to live up to their greatness, and it is much better for the collective. And that is truly where women shine. So how can we embody and honor the women we come from, like our mothers, our grandmothers, our great-grandmothers? I mean, I come from a long line of awesome Portuguese women. So how do I honor how I've been raised and how I've been taught to walk in the world, and also inspire women who come long after we're gone? How do we evolve? Well, we step into our God-given power. We stop waiting for permission from anyone to be who we are, as we are, whatever that means to us individually. So the theme of this year's Women's Day is Women in Leadership, Achieving an Equal Future in a COVID-19 world. Well, that kind of sounds daunting, doesn't it? Achieving an equal future, you know, something we've been really fighting for. In a COVID-19 world, you know, also daunting. You know, what does that look like? What does that mean? Well, equal is not to be confused with being the same. We're not all meant to be the same. We're not supposed to make the same choices. We're not all meant to travel the same road. I mean, if we were, it would be one heck of a traffic jam, right? And we don't all have the same dreams, the same goals, the same values and purpose. You know, if we were meant to be the same, we'd all think the same, but we don't. We don't feel the same. The same things don't light us up. So it is so far from the case that we are meant to be the same. When I talk about stepping into your God-given power, I'm talking about expressing your gifts and talents in the way that resonates most with you. Whether that looks like being an administrative assistant, a nurse, a teacher, a CEO, or a CFO of a Fortune 500 company, while balancing a home life, or whether that looks like being a single woman paving the way for greatness in her career of choice, or if that looks like being a stay-at-home mom who feels completely fulfilled raising her family. It is totally up to you. That is what feminine leadership means. It means leading your life in a way that flows with who you are and how you want to move in the world. So, sounds easy enough, right? But how do you do that? Well, if you're a part of this event, chances are you have a business or you're interested in starting one. But the most important piece of advice that I can offer you today is that you need to build the business that you want now. And if you're not building a business, you need to start building the life that you want to live right now. Don't wait for the time. Don't wait for the money. Don't wait for the energy. Don't wait for the opportunity to show up. You need to create it now. So you ask yourself this important question. And this is a big question. It may not seem like a big question, but trust me. How do I want to feel more than anything? So I use this question as a catalyst for the work I do with my clients. I have a program that I take, that I develop to take people through this self-reflective journey, and it's called the Me First Formula. Oh, and actually I created a free workbook for the first part, which is all about calibrating to your GPS. And I'll talk a little bit about the GPS in a bit, but it's exactly what it sounds like, right? It's the GPS, it's what you calibrate to, right? And I like to call it GPS, God's positioning system, because it's about our internal guidance, right? And I'll actually put, if anybody's interested in getting this workbook that I created for free, I'll stick it in the chat and you guys can sign up. Hold on, I'll do that right now. And it's just a little bit.ly link. It's called Get Success GPS, right? So that's something free that I'm offering for anybody who's here. And if you do download the PDF, you'll also be have a free spot reserved in a workshop that I'm doing on Wednesday, March 24th from 7 to 9. And, I'll take you step by step through the workbook and help you find your unique GPS. So that's if you're interested. So let's talk about it. So what is this GPS that I keep talking about? Why is the feeling important? Why do I ask you about the feeling? Well, you cannot create in the future what you do not embody in the present. The GPS word becomes a touchstone and a reminder of what we want to create. For example, if you want more peace in your life, if you're just like, oh, I used to hear my grandmother all the time being like, "Só que paz na cabeça, só que paz na cabeça," right? Me too. I say it all the time because I have 3 boys and they're very loud. Só que paz na cabeça, right? So if you want peace, right? If you're looking for peace, then you cannot run a business or run your life in chaos. If you want more freedom, you cannot run your life or your business in a way that keeps you trapped. If you want abundance, you cannot make decisions from lack. It just doesn't match, right? It just doesn't compute, right? It's like a radio station. If you want country music, then you need to get off 102.1 because you're not. 102.1 in Toronto is still CFNY, right? Maybe, I don't know. I haven't listened to radio in Toronto in a really long time. But if you want country music, you can't turn it to the alternative station. And the same way that if you want, adult contemporary, don't put it on hard rock, right? But yet we do that all the time. We're listening to hard rock, heavy metal music, right? And what we really want is classical. Well, how are we supposed to make that happen? How does that connect? It really doesn't. and it becomes a really tough road faced with lots of challenges because you're constantly coming up against the things that you don't want because you are existing in an energetic space that you are not happy with. So you need to figure out a way how to bring that happiness, bring that peace, bring that freedom, bring that abundance into your life in the best way you know how right now. So, I mean, there's been a lot of things that COVID has taken away from us, a lot. I have not seen my parents personally in over a year, and it is very upsetting. I miss them, and I know they're here. I love you. But there are also some gifts that COVID has given us. And one of the gifts is that it's given us the opportunity to create things that work for us in a better, more powerful way. Because everything changed. Everything changed. So everybody's starting from scratch. We all realized that the way we were living, at least for now, wasn't working, right? We used to have to ask for special accommodations to work from home before. Now, guess what? Everybody's working from home. Now, both the husbands and the wives are all partners in the home, get to see what it's like to try and do things at home with your children there. Fun. I know all you people with little kids at home going, oh my God, so true. But it's true. All right. So now we are being given permission to create what else makes our day easier. Take this as an opportunity to say, well, everything has changed in my life and the way things were running are no longer working, especially in this COVID world. So what can I do now that is going to set the foundation for what I want to create in my life in the future? And you have to bring it in right now. And here's the thing. Don't be afraid to ask for what you want. Don't be afraid to set boundaries around what you are willing and not willing to do. Do not be afraid to take no less than what you deserve. Now, of course, there's evolution, right? Like you walk into a job, and at an entry-level position and you say, I want $200,000 a year. They might look at you and say, not here, right? But don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to create what you want, because there has been plenty of people before you, women included, that have forged a path that was different than what existed before. And until they did it, people said, not possible. And then guess what? They did. Who would have believed it, that everybody would be working from home? He would say, that's not possible. Guess what it is? Who would have thought that the world would shut down and suddenly we would have pollution-free air? People would be like, that's ridiculous. That's never going to happen. Guess what? It did. It did. And I actually believe that's why here in the States, we've gotten a little extra snow, because finally nature was like, oh, I can breathe. Oh, it's winter. Yay. I can be myself again. Right? Because I can tell you, as long as I've been in New York, the snow kept depleting. We didn't get as much snow as we used to growing up in Toronto. I remember winters were amazing, right? But this year, it went back to the way I remember, back to the winters the way I remember. And that is because our planet had a chance to heal this year. So with all the things that COVID-19 did take away from us, there are also many, many gifts. Time spent together with family. For some people, that's a gift. For some people, maybe not so much, but okay, we'll go with it. But I'm sure that you have your own examples in your life of things that were gifts this year. Time you got to spend with people, or maybe just slowing down, even though it was forced. Sometimes we're forced to slow down. And then we go, oh, wow, I really was tired. I didn't realize it until I actually sat down and stopped running. So, as I said, don't be afraid to ask for what you want. And more importantly, don't feel guilty about it. God, we are so good at feeling guilty, ladies, aren't we? Constantly feeling that guilt. Always. Whether you have children or not, I don't know. I think like you're born a woman and all of a sudden it's like, oh, look, there's guilt, right? Every time we step into our power, we are giving our children permission to step into theirs. Every time we create the ideal conditions for our success, it benefits everyone in our circle, definitely our business, and especially the people that we're close to. And the most important reason is because it eliminates the resentment and frustration that is normally caused by doing things that are out of alignment with our life. You know, moms were always running around balancing everything, right? Like it's, you know, that's the eternal image of a woman, of a mom especially. It's like balancing work, balancing home, balancing cleaning, balancing all the things that you need to do. Well, what if you could choose how you balance? What if you could say, you know what, this part of the scale is a little too heavy. I'm going to remove some things because I'm doing them, but they really don't resonate with me. But yet we do things that we're obligated to do, or we feel obligated to do, or because other people did it, or because, you know, any million reasons that we feel like we should do something. Here's the thing. You shouldn't do anything. Everything comes from want of moving forward. I mean, I'm not saying only do things you like, because listen, even as a mom, we do a lot of things that we don't like. That includes, like, you know, cleaning up bodily fluids, but we do it with love. And we do it with love because we know, well, I want my child to be clean. I want my child to feel good and feel love. The same with our entrepreneurial ventures, the same with our businesses. It is a relationship just the same. And you shouldn't be doing for your business what you don't want to do. I mean, there are things, like I said, you know, you have responsibilities, you have to pay the bills, you have to do certain things, but that extra stuff, that stuff that doesn't feel good, that's what we need to start releasing and getting rid of. And what the whole thing is that we need to get out ahead of things, right? So as moms, we know that, you know, getting out ahead of things, that feeling of resentment and frustration that we feel as women, and I don't know if everyone feels it, but I can say that most people I speak to have felt it on some level, that frustration and resentment from basically doing everything and holding the burden of the family all on our shoulders. And so we need to get out ahead of that resentment and frustration by creating the boundaries to make us succeed, right? And, you know, as moms, you know, when your child gets hangry, right? If you wait too long to make food, all of a sudden they get really cranky, they start throwing things or have a little tantrum because they're hungry. So we make sure that we feed them before they get to that point, because otherwise it takes a lot more energy to calm them down. But yet we are always testing and pushing the limits of our own breaking point. We don't make our meals ahead of time and make sure that we don't get hangry, right? We don't do that for ourselves. We do it for everyone, but not for us. And that's what we need to do. We need to start applying the nurturing, loving things that we do for others. And we need to now turn that on ourselves. Because otherwise we're not creating conditions for our success. We're setting ourselves up for failure by not advocating for ourselves or giving ourselves the room to grow organically. So how do you set yourself up for personal success? Well, you have to create a life that works for you, not what works for your neighbor or your sister or your cousin or that beautiful woman you follow on Facebook who seems to have it all, right? You have to create the conditions that meet your unique wants and needs, and that is how you ensure your success. So I promised I would come back to the GPS word. So this is how I help people figure it out. That feeling that you want, right? If somebody says, what do you want? You might say, I want security. I want, you know, to finally buy my house. I want to, you know, raise my children in a safe environment. I want to achieve, you know, CEO at the company that I work for, right? But when you think about the actual achievement, there's a feeling that goes with it. That's what we're tapping into. What is that feeling? Is it accomplishment? Is it success? Is it happiness? And then when you figure out what is that feeling, then you have to go a little deeper and figure out what does that feeling mean to me? So for my own example, last year, the word I chose was spacious. I was just feeling so like the world was basically closing in on me. And that was before COVID, when we got all trapped together. And it was more so because I was just not doing what I wanted to do and what was in alignment with who I wanted to be. I was preventing myself from doing what I wanted. I was stopping myself. I was feeling guilty, all of those things. So I said, I need to feel spacious. I don't want to feel the hustle. I don't want to feel that stress of having to like do all these things. And I want to be able to create in a way that makes me feel good. I want it to feel spacious. I want to be able to create my schedule and not feel like I'm rushing from thing to thing to thing, because that's what it feels like. You know, for me as a mom with 3 young boys, I'm always rushing. I'm always like trying to get somebody at the house, trying to fix dinner, trying to clean the kitchen. I'm trying to do something. And I know everyone here can relate. And so I was like, I just want things to feel a little more spacious. I want to feel like I can breathe. And that is how I started to change the decisions of what I was doing and what I was focusing on. And now a funny little story is that when you make a decision like this, like the GPS word, and when you have a focused feeling that you want to bring into your life, well, then guess what? God will say, okay, you want spacious? No problem. And all of a sudden you get presented all these opportunities to create space, which sometimes are kind of annoying. For example, I had a flood in my basement. And so everything from the downstairs part of my house was put upstairs. So also, anything that's going outside, the external part of your life is a reflection of the internal, right? So spaciousness. All of a sudden, I went from feeling pretty spacious in my home to feeling completely cluttered, feeling like everything I owned was on one floor, and I started having panic attacks. But I had to do it. I had to address it. And these are the things that I say, like sometimes you're faced with things that you don't want to do, but you know that in the end, once you get through it, you're going to feel amazing. So for me, it was decluttering, right? Now I've got all this stuff in my face. I don't want to deal with it, but I have no choice. And guess what? God knew that I wouldn't clean up my house if I'd had a choice. And as long as I had enough room to fit things both upstairs and downstairs in my house, then it was going to take me a whole lot longer to declutter. So I got a little push, I got a little nudge. And even though for me, it felt challenging, I knew that that challenge was just something that I needed to face, so that slowly, bit by bit, with each choice, with each move that I made in decluttering, that I was contributing to a more spacious life. I knew that even though it really wasn't fun at the time, and I'm still going through it, so it's still not fun, but it's better. Every choice I make is connected to spaciousness. If somebody wants to make an appointment with me to, be a client, I'll look at my schedule and say, you know what, I have room for a client, or I'll say, I don't have room right now, because I need to make the right choice for me. And I share that with you because I feel the same way for you. When you choose that word or that feeling, you have to make sure to honor it. It becomes a relationship. It becomes a promise to yourself. So if you're in a relationship with your spouse and your spouse says, look, what I need from you is for you to express your love to me in this way, let's just say, right? So then you make a commitment to say, I promise to do my best and I'm going to do that, right? So when you choose the feeling that you want, you are basically saying to yourself, I need you to help me become more spacious, because who's going to do it for us? Nobody. We're going to call the fairy, even though, I believe in angels and, powers that be, but no one's coming to clean my house. I promise you, except for me. So we have to do those things for ourselves. And that's one thing my grandma used to say all the time. It was, se alguém nos ajuda, não, se a gente se ajuda, Deus vai ajudar também, right? It was always like, if you move forward, God's right there helping you out, meeting you halfway. And that's what it is. That's why it's so important for us to step into our power and do what we need to do for ourselves, because we are making a promise that we are going to treat ourselves the way we deserve to be treated, because that is what we deserve. Not just because we're women, but because we're people, because we're human, because everybody deserves that. And you have the power to create the life that you want, but you have to believe it. You have to understand that you're being fully guided and supported by the powers that be, and I promise you, you are. So I urge you to please take some time. You know, as I said, you can sign up for the workbook if you want a little support in doing it the way I have done it with other clients, but you don't need to sign up for it if you don't want. It's not one of those things, I'm just sharing. And if you want to come to the workshop, I will help you do it as well. But if not, you can go through it yourself and just be like, what do I want to feel? And remember that what you want to feel becomes your daily goal. It becomes a daily practice on how you can incorporate that feeling into your day. Because as you incorporate that feeling into your day, into each moment, into each choice, into each facet of your life, then you are going to magnetize that feeling, right? You're now listening to the station on the radio that you want, right? It's like, oh, country music. Yeah, I want to listen to country music. You keep it on the country station. You don't change the channel because that's not going to help you. Then you're listening to different music that you don't want, right? So whatever your word is, whatever that feeling is, remember to always keep your station tuned to that channel. And anything that you listen to, you make sure that it connects with that feeling. And if you do that, then everything else will naturally unfold, because how can it not? How can it not? If you're always doing things to make yourself feel the way you want to feel, then you will always feel the way you want to feel. I know it seems simple and kind of silly, but that's just the way it is. So I just want to say that each one of you here are special. You are special to someone, really special to someone. Your presence is impactful in the world. You have a purpose, even if your purpose is just being you. Because I can tell you sometimes just calling a friend and somebody I love and hearing their voice and hearing them say to me, hey, you're awesome, I love you, is enough. So if you haven't heard that today, hey, you're awesome, I love you, and you're enough. And I want to thank you so much for being here today. And thank you for allowing me to take up some of your precious time. And I really hope that you guys come and join me for the workshop, because it will be a lot of fun together. I really, really am excited. And thank you so much. Thank you to everyone.
All right. Thank you, Patricia. Amazing motivational speech for all of us to hear, men included. And I'd like to also give a shout out to all the men that are online supporting women on this International Women's Day. Patricia, also on behalf of the Federation and our board of directors, we'd like to extend our condolences to you and your family, Maria and George, who are watching as well. The matriarch of your family, your grandmother at 93 years young, passed away, unfortunately, over the weekend. And so on behalf of the Federation, our condolences to you. Please go and follow Patricia on social media. Soul Seekers TV is the name of her program. And also feel free to like and subscribe to the Federation pages on social media and also on YouTube. If you just logged in not too long ago and you missed some of tonight's program, you can rewatch all of this on our YouTube page at FPCBP. So we're going to continue on with our program, and we have some prizes to give away. So Paul, if we can put up the slide with the prizes, please. Here we go. Okay, so our first prize is a gift basket, bottle of port wine and chouriço. And we're going to switch to Melissa, who has the drum in front of her there. And her mom, Sarah Lucilia. Hi, Sarah Lucilia. She's going to help us as well. Thanks for being here.
I'm going to close my eyes.
Sarah Rodriguez, congratulations. You have won the gift basket, bottle of port wine and chouriço, donated by FPCBP and Aldous Meats. Our next prize is a takeout gift certificate from Kaloida Bar and Grill.
Close your eyes.
Carlos Marinez. Congratulations, Carlos. And this was an offer donated by owner Patricia Borges of Caloida. Next up, we have a gift basket, coffee tea press, strawberry tea, bag of Rouge Dulce rice, box of Canadian maple waffle cookies, butterfly cookies made in Portugal, gray tea towel, and Ashland egg holder dish. And that was donated by Eddie Solomon Events. And Eddie Solomon, who's also one of our board members and events committee members. Congratulations, Margaret Pedro. Next, we have a black poppy and peonies tote bag, a designer Maya Charbon brooch, and a white mini frame, also donated by Eddie Solomon Events.
Your eyes. Close your eyes.
Congratulations, Arnold Santos, a past president of the FPCBP. And we're going to continue with the second part of prizes. So if Paulo, if you can put up that slide, please. Excellent. So we have a gift certificate for handmade jewelry from Goddess Rose Design, and that was donated by owner Stephanie Castaneda. Congratulations, Marisa Souza Hills. Next, we have a mixed set of stackable beaded bracelets made up of 14 karat gold filled and sterling silver bracelets. That's donated by Bucco de Beads.
Close your eyes.
And Bucco de Beads is also a women-run company by Judy Ribeiro Raybergen. Congratulations, Sandra DaCosta. Next, we have a large crystal candle holder, and that was also donated by Patricia Borges. Congratulations, Annie Moreira. Next, we have a bottle of port wine and chorizo donated by FPCBP and Alda Schmitz. Congratulations, Christina Martins, also a past female president of the Federation. And last but not least of these prizes, a takeout gift certificate from Caloida Bar and Grill, donated by owner Patricia Borges. Congratulations, Crystal Ferreira. All right, so we have the grand prize. If you haven't already seen that, that is a round trip airfare for two to Portugal, courtesy of TAP Air Portugal. But before we do that, we have some music. We're going to continue on with our program, and then we will have the grand prize right before our closing remarks. So let's hear one more song from Peter Cerrado and Reno.
When you're on fire, forgive me if I'm smiling. For what it's worth, Oh, I'm trying. It's all love, no need for crying. I'm just trying to get back on my feet. It's gonna take some time to get it all in line. It's gonna take some time to get it all in line. Or the sun will shine on us. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm not trying to deceive. I'm just waiting for the sun to come on, so I can get my reprieve. Love on my mind, love on my mind, love on my mind. Now love on my mind. It's all love, love on my mind. You came to me. It's more than buying you flowers. You can't buy. You can't buy. It's the small things that paint the bigger picture. But don't hide it. But don't hide it. I'm not trying to hurt you. Oh, I'm not trying to deceive. I'm just waiting for the sun to come out, so I can get my reprieve. Love on my mind, love on my mind, oh, love on my mind, love on my mind. It's all love. I can't help myself, or the change is gonna come. Oh, it will. I can't help myself, 'cause you've always been the one. No, love on my mind, love on my mind, love on my mind, love on my mind. It's all love and love on my mind, love on my mind, and love on my mind, love on my mind. Oh, and love on my mind, love on my mind. Love on my mind. It's all love.
Wish there was like a clapping sound effect or something that we can add into here. But I can hear you all in your homes clapping for Peter Serrado and Reno. Thank you once again to both of you for being here and for adding some music to tonight's event. So now we will give away the grand prize, a round fair airfare trip for two to Portugal. I know we're all antsy to get out of here. I am. And so we want to go hopefully this summer, fingers crossed, if Canada can get its stuff together with the COVID vaccinations. But let's bring on now Liliana Vieira. She is the district sales manager for TAP Air Portugal, and she's going to say a few words before we pick the draw. Liliana.
Hi there. How are you all? Thank you so much for having me, for having us, TAP Air Portugal here today. We're so honored to be part of this event. Yay, International Women's Day. So just a quick thing about Tap Air Portugal, that I just want to say that we are basically a revamped Tap Air Portugal. We've been back in Canada since 2017. So we're not the Tap Air Portugal, we're not the Tap from 25 or 26 years ago from my parents' generation. So we are, number one, we're Star Alliance now. So you can also use Aeroplan points towards your booking. And we're a European airline. So we have a vast European network. We even have Lisbon, Moscow. We have Lisbon, Warsaw. We have even Lisbon now, Tel Aviv. So we have a product called Tap Stopover, or Portugal Stopover, I should say. So the idea is for you to discover Europe, for you to discover even Morocco, Northwest Africa, Cabo Verde, for you to discover Tel Aviv, anywhere in Europe, and their destination is Europe or anywhere that we fly to. And you can also stay in Lisbon or Porto up to 5 nights. So basically you're paying for one airfare, but with two cities, or as an experience of 2 vacations. So that is very popular with Canadians. So believe it or not, we're one of the top airlines for Europe with Canadians. I know that everyone's used to Transat, and that's fine, but we're just a different product. We have a full business class cabin, full flat bed seats. We also have the other product called Economy Extra Economy, or Economy Extra, which is basically 4 inches more in legroom, and that is just behind the business class cabin. So we are always revamping our product. So just think of us like, once you're on board, you're like uma casa portuguesa, because it really is like Portuguese speaking. That we have the Portuguese wines, we have Portuguese beer, we have like Portuguese cuisine. So just think of it as like you're walking into Portugal as soon as you board our flights, our planes. So that's the advantage to us. And again, we're Star Alliance, again, Aeroplan points, which is very important to Canadians. So we're just rooting for, yeah, let's get the vaccine and let's get going. Let's start traveling, because that's what we're waiting for, is just that's Canada to really open up fully and fully accept travel once again, pre-COVID. So thank you so much for being here, all of you. And so any questions you have, please go to your travel agent or our website, www.flytap.com. But again, I suggest also your travel agent. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Liliane, and thank you, TAP, for sponsoring this year's International Women's Day event. So let's get to the grand prize. Drum roll, please. And the winner is Margaret Pedro. Congratulations, Margaret. And all of our prize winners, congratulations to all of you, and we will contact you to pick up your prizes in a COVID-safe way. We hope that you all enjoyed tonight's program. The FPCBP Board of Directors is hard at work organizing events for the FPCBP this year in a virtual manner, a different way that we would like, but we will be in your company. We'll be hosting the 2020 Scholarship Award ceremony virtually this year. And so all the students will be receiving their awards, and sponsors will be also on camera in a different way. And so we've got a project plan for that. And hopefully by this summer, we can have outdoor events and organize a ceremony in that fashion. So stay tuned to all of our social media channels for updates. Subscribe to our newsletter as well, and support the Federation. If you know anyone that can sponsor and donate during this time, please reach out to fpcbp.com, and we're happy to have that support. Once again, congratulations to the Board of Directors, to the Women's Events Committee members, to all of our women panelists. Patricia, thank you so much for being our guest speaker this year. And I'll give you this little flower that I received in my charcuterie box to all the ladies watching tonight. Happy International Women's Day. I'd like to bring on our president, Eduarda, for a final salute, and get your drinks ready, because coming up next is our cocktail hour. So your cameras have been off this whole time. So if you have your hair all messed up, it's okay. We're going to bring you on now. So if you'd like to continue on with our program and have to see everybody and be able to chat and network that way, hang on tight and we'll bring you all in as panelists very shortly. So Eduarda, the word's off to you.
Thank you, Matthew. Listen, everybody, this was a fabulous virtual party. I have to say heartfelt, grateful, gratitude. Thank you to all of you. I want to thank all of our guests, and I hope that everyone enjoyed tonight's event, albeit virtual. I think it was a party online, so thank you. I have to say a special shout out to my mother, Nina, and my sister, Marisa, who are watching. Love you all, and thank you for all of your wisdom and guidance and love and support, unwavering support. Recently, a dear friend of mine shared with me that random words of kindness can make a world of difference for another fellow sister to ensure that her crown is in place. So I voiced the words of my fellow New Yorker, for those who know me, United States Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Real change, enduring change, happens one step at a time. Whilst taking these steps, remember the words of Mother Teresa. Kind words can be short and easy to speak, but their echoes are truly endless. And for those who know me, I'm always saying, be a voice, not an echo. So I bid all of you a fabulous continuation of this evening's event. I completely thank the board of directors and the events committee and the team. And I'm going to pass it back to you, Matthew, and EZO Networks. And thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the evening, folks.
Thank you so much, Eduarda. And just before we wrap up, I would like to also mention that we have our essay contest happening this year. And so we've had over 30 submissions from students in grades 7 to 12 that have submitted for this event. And we are still looking for sponsors. So if you know anyone that would like to donate $250 towards a bursary for students, please let us know. And since today is International Women's Day, we just received a message that the first female president of the Federation, Nelly Pedro, will be donating for this event as well. So we encourage others to do the same, and thank you for the support. Paulo Rocha of EZO Networks, you have been amazing. Thank you for controlling everything behind the scenes, constant chit chat, constant back and forths, and we hope that you at home enjoyed tonight's event. So let's bring you all on. Let's see who's here.
Oh, oh Francesco.
All right, I think we're all in here. Hi, everybody. Happy International Women's Day. Cheers to all of everybody on tonight and all the women here. Cheers.
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 Happy International Women's Day, everyone.
All right, so let's start chatting. I can see my cousin. Hi, Maria.
I have my cousins and my parents here. It's like a family reunion. I haven't even seen them. Hi, guys.
I don't know why I'm not.
If anybody wants to speak, please unmute yourself.
Oh, Francisco.
I don't see the guys. Where's the men? Where's the lies? What's going on with the guys?
I'm going to go through everyone. Let's see. Annabella, thank you. Happy International Women's Day. Elizabeth.
To you as well. Thank you, everybody.
You. Thank you. Elizabeth. Madalena. Lena. Christina.
Can I just say,
Go ahead, yes.
Can I just say before, hold on a second. We've got two computers going here. So if I can just say, and congratulations. First of all, happy International Women's Day to all the women on here tonight, and a special shout out for the men that have joined the celebration as well tonight. I know that my boys were in the background watching and wanted to congratulate the Federation of Portuguese Canadian Business and Professional for such a fabulous event. It was so enjoyable. Congratulations to all of you, from putting the event together, from all the drivers that came to our homes over the weekend to drop off the charcuterie boxes. They were amazing, delicious. The performers, Patricia, the speaker, Eduarda, you and your team, congratulations. Matthew, hats off to you. Enjoy the rest of the evening, everyone. It was fabulous. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you.
Cheers. Thanks for a wonderful evening. Congratulations to Patricia for doing such a wonderful job. Wonderful speaker tonight.
Patricia.
Thank you. Thank you for being here, all of you. I really appreciate it. And especially my friends and family that came to, well, I think most of you come usually anyway, but thanks for supporting anyway.
Here.
It certainly is different though.
Yes. Except this is the only way that I could actually participate, as I have missed many of these. So I'm kind of grateful, one of those like COVID gifts, is that I could actually be here with you guys, because otherwise well, maybe I could travel, but this is easier.
Hey, Michelle. Hi there, Michelle. For those
Hi,
everyone. Michelle George, former president.
Happy Women's Day. And I want to echo Christina's comments. This has been absolutely fantastic. You did such a great job. I know that there's a lot of limitations with us being on Zoom, but it was such an enjoyable evening. So thank you so much for putting that together for all of us and representing the Federation so incredibly well.
We do. Thank you.
Yeah.
Networks.
Virtual round of applause.
I want to echo what Michelle said. My name's Marisa. You guys did the behind the scenes, all of the people behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. You guys did a better job than the Golden Globes, which I didn't even watch, but I heard about. Technical, you guys, hands down, very, very well done. Good job, great job, Matthew. Everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good evening, everyone. Happy International Women's Day to everyone, including, again, Mom, I know that you're on there. I saw you, and Eduardo Dida. I'm going to say good night and have a good rest of the evening. Ciao for now. Bon night. Bon night.
Mr. Arnold Santos.
We're going to say
one of the past presidents.
What a great job you guys did. I'm very impressed, but you have a good president anyway, so.
It's a great team. It's all teamwork. We have to give you a chin chin because we've got to give you credit. No matter where we go and it's a women's event, always there to support. So chin chin to you, sir.